Just a little bit. Was good. Now, I seen this video. I seen somebody reacting to it, so I found the original video, and I was like, let me check this out. They talking about Chinese women streamers are homeless because they're trying to be the next big thing. But Louis Z, I don't want to mess up his name. First time being on this channel. My bad, bro, for having you paused in that face. My bad, bro.
Around in a Chinese city at night, you might come across something like this. Rows of people, mostly young and attractive, sitting or standing on the streets in front of rows of phones and ring lights, singing and talking and sometimes dancing. They look like streamers, but they also look homeless. Indeed, they do gather around places where homeless people tend to be, on the sidewalks, inside tunnels, on bridges or under bridges. There was even a bridge that became so famous for this type of gathering that people started going there just to watch the spectacle. There was so much foot traffic under the bridge that at one point it started to look like a local festival or block party. You can see people dressed up.
Yo, they got. Did you see those screens? I can't even go back. How can you go back like a little bit? Look at this.
Look like a local festival or block party. You can see people dressed up impeccably while dancing in the mud or carrying a heavy jar of water.
Look, you see this? You see all these little John. Why is it?
While dancing in the mud, or downright rolling in the mud, or basically doing whatever it takes to get attention from viewers online. Now, if you're seeing this for the first time, you probably have a few commonly asked questions. What are they doing? Why are they doing that? Are they streaming? Are they homeless? Why are they streaming outside? Why can't they stream from home? Why are they all together like that? Why can't they just stream by themselves? Why do they seem so desperate? What's pushing them to go this far? Why is this happening? Why are we here? What's the meaning of life? The universe? Okay.
You asked a lot of questions.
I got you. In this video, I will talk about this phenomenon of homeless streaming in China. I'll talk about what it is and what caused it, and in so doing paint a cautionary tale of what can happen when the attention economy goes too far. Now, like these streamers,
Attention economy went too far a long time ago. It's just now probably truly jumping around the world because this is out of pocket. Like, why would you be okay with having yourself sit on the street like that and be streaming? I mean, you go on real life, show your whole life. People probably respond a lot more if you show them your real day to day, not just trying to sit there and be a robot to entertain them.
I too am a content creator, so I feel a personal connection to their struggle. You might not be a streamer or a content creator, and that's okay, because the lessons homeless streamers. Now, first of all, yes, they are indeed streamers, but no, they're not homeless, or at least not usually. So why are they out there on the street in the middle of the night? Well, they come out at night because nighttime just happens to be a peak time for streaming traffic in China. Most people would have finished work at that point and are now online seeking entertainment. So nighttime naturally has the most streamed viewers, and streamers in turn get online at night to capitalize on that. Many streamers also have day jobs and would only have time to stream at night. In terms of why they do it on the street though, it's mostly because it makes for engaging content. You're probably seeing TikTok dancers do this, filming their content in public, sometimes to the annoyance of other people. TikTokers can and do film their content in private spaces.
Yeah, that should be out of pocket. Yeah, like I've never encountered it myself, but you can't really guarantee how you're gonna respond if somebody was to jump in front of you and start doing the TikTok.
But there's something interesting about the real world chaos, the cars and the cityscape and the social pressure of other people watching that can make the content more engaging to watch. And these Chinese streamers stream in public to capture some of that same engagement on their stream. Additionally, for some streamers, this is also an attempt to appeal to pity. The idea is that if viewers see them sitting out in the cold at 1 in the morning, they might feel empathy towards the streamers and as a result become nicer to them and donate to their stream more often. Now, I acknowledge that this looks kind of insane. In fact, when I first started researching this topic,
I'm gonna keep it down. I'm not really big on giving homeless people money as is, and I don't even be on enough to be watching people streams like that as is. So I can't even, you know what I mean? But I don't even like giving homeless people money, and the only reason why is because I've had homeless people tell me they ain't want the food that I offered them. I had homeless people tell me they just didn't want anything. They didn't even want the water I was offering. I've had homeless people say, "Yo, can I just get some water?" I've had homeless people actually ask for food. Um, but in majority of the time, literally like 90% of the time, they ask for money. And I said no, because I ain't giving you no money to go get high. I mean, if you kept it real, I just might because you being honest. But in reality, I give you money to go get high. That's just crazy, yo, because it's a lot of homeless people that they will not take, well, they'll take money, but they'll deny anything else that you give to them. A lot, it's a lot. So why would I give to a
topic, I had to do a sanity check and contact a few people in China to make sure that they've actually seen this with their own eyes and this is not just AI generated footage. And unfortunately, it is real. In fact, you can watch the stream from these streamers right now. You need to use a Chinese streaming platform, and here's me trying to do this a few weeks ago. I just searched for street streaming and found one after just a couple of scrolls. What was shocking to me was that I was watching this at 1:40 in the afternoon Pacific time, which would have been about 4, almost 5 o'clock in the morning in China. So this poor girl was on the street at basically 5 in the morning while it was kind of raining and streaming for the 46 people who were watching the stream. So the question is, why are they going this far? And sure, streaming outside might make for slightly better content, but compared to the comfort of streaming from home, what's pushing these streamers to go out in the cold in the middle of the night? Now, first of all, there is a macroeconomic reason for this. After the COVID lockdown, China's economy has not rebounded as strongly as one would have hoped. The rate of unemployment is still relatively high, and even those with jobs might not necessarily be able to afford the cost of living in major cities. Streaming, on the other hand, has a low barrier to entry. Basically, anyone with a phone and an internet connection can do it. So naturally, streaming becomes something many Chinese people do to supplement their income. According to CCTV, there were more than 15 million professional streamers in China by the end of 2023. That means roughly 1 in every 100 people in China were streamers. In
yo, that's crazy. That's a big ass number. I'm saying it's crazy, but that's a big ass number still. That's a big ass number.
other words, the streaming
We're very good looking money.
industry has become incredibly competitive. It's therefore a necessity for streamers to go the extra mile, to stand out in a sea of people making similar content if they want to make money. Making the effort to come out to the street is just one such example. But there are other factors that exaggerates this sense of desperation in streamers and push them to work harder. One of these factors is baked directly into the mechanics of Chinese streaming platforms, and it has to do with how Chinese streamers get paid. Now, many streaming platforms in the West, like Twitch and YouTube, have ad revenue sharing programs. Once streamers are qualified and accepted into the program, even if their viewers don't pay them, the streamers can still get paid from ad revenue. Chinese streaming platforms, on the other hand, don't have ad revenue sharing, or at least not yet at this time. So streamers' income has to come from the pocket of the viewers. That usually happens in one of two ways. First is straight up viewer donation. Viewers can tip the streamers directly through these virtual gifts. This is one of the most common ways for street streamers to monetize. The second way is live commerce, and this is basically infomercial but on streams. Streamers would talk about the product and there will be a button at the bottom of the screen for viewers to buy. When that happens, the streamer receives a commission from the sales. Now, regardless of how it happens, the fact remains that streamers don't get paid unless viewers take money out of their own pocket and give it to them in one way or another. This creates social media content creation.
I was in the next part, but that's a crazy dynamic. Because it's like you can't really make a couple dollars on the actual platform, but also make some of the money or money from gifts and things like that. You have to completely rely on people actually finding you entertaining. Yo, you think that would fuck a lot of people up? If they did that for like a month, that might mess a couple people up because then I have to realize like, damn, you not that entertaining. You know what I mean? But over there, they ain't really got a choice. They already starting like that. I mean, the streaming shit is crazy.
These companies are officially known as MCN or multi-channel network in the industry. They're basically streaming agencies or influencer agencies. They provide streamers with training, equipment, help them broker sponsor relationship and with other logistical tasks in exchange for a cut of the streamer's revenue. Now, you might wonder why any influencer would want to give up a portion of their revenue to join an agency. You've got a smartphone and a data plan, so just point the camera at yourself and hit record, right? How hard could it be? Well, there are actually a lot of things content creators need to do that has little to do with creating the content itself. For instance, I just spent a week filing my taxes. Even though my channel was monetized for less than 2 months last year and made about $200, I still had to include that business activities on my tax filing because there's apparently a difference between cash-based accounting and accrual-based accounting. And if you don't know what any of that means, I didn't either. So that's how I spent a week. Thank you for asking. Now, no offense to the accountants out there, this is fascinating stuff, but as a content creator, it's probably more efficient and relevant for me to spend a week researching for this video topic instead of learning how to depreciate a capital asset at fair market value. The idea of a company taking care of these kind of things for me sounds like a great value proposition in theory. But in practice, joining an agency, especially in China, usually means giving up on some degree of creative and career freedom. And depending on how ethical the agency you're working with is, you could be giving up on a lot of freedom to the point that you are trapped contractually. As part of joining an agency in China, streamers might face restrictions on what kind of content they can stream, where and when they have to stream, and quotas like how much revenue they must generate per week. And keep in mind that Chinese streamers don't make revenue until viewers give it to them. Failing to meet these quotas could result in fines. And if streamers try to leave the agency before their contract's completion, they could get sued. So it's easy to see how these restrictions can intensify.
That's a lot to deal with. That's a lot. That's crazy because you basically you basically signing up for a job. You can do it yourself, or you can stream for yourself and them. They take a cut. They do this. They do that. I mean, you can promote it, but could you stream on two phones and like have one stream for you, one stream for you and them? I don't know, but just knowing the fact that realistically, you only getting uh, this should make streaming sound bad as hell. Like it's like them turn into some slave shit.
Business idea is the same. It's to streamline the content creation process from a room by themselves staring at a screen, while the streamers sit just inches apart from each other, yet never interact. Everyone is locked in the prison of their digital worlds, appearing to connect, yet never really do. It juxtaposes collectivism and individualism as well. China has a collectivist culture, after all. So, by and large, people prioritize social cohesion and group well being above their personal ambition.
That shit looks like outside assembly line. They are AI.
These street gatherings seem to trend towards this kind of collective.
Man, fuck this. Fuck this. Chad Talks Facts. What's good, bro? Yo, shout out to Chad Talks Facts. My bad. I did not see you because I was actually looking at that. But it was good to Chad Talks Facts. Oh, my bad. Shout out to you, homie.